Next topic is how do our activities affect the environment? Two environmental problems we will discuss today. One is depletion of ozone layer and second is the waste disposal. First is ozone layer and how it is getting depleted. Ozone is a molecule formed of 3 atoms of oxygen. Ozone is present at the upper atmosphere. Okay? Ozone is present at the upper atmosphere, that is at the stratosphere. Okay? It is a poisonous gas. We are not able to breathe in this gas. So we are lucky that ozone is not present at the lower atmosphere. But we are also lucky that ozone is present at the higher atmosphere, upper atmosphere, because ozone protects us from the ultraviolet radiation of the sun. It shields the surface of earth from the ultraviolet radiation of the sun. This radiation is highly damaging to the organism. Ozone at higher level of the atmosphere is a product of UV radiation acting on O2, that is oxygen molecule. The higher energy UV radiation split apart some molecule of oxygen into free oxygen atom. These atoms then combine with the molecular oxygen to form ozone. Now how it affects the living beings? It causes skin cancer in human beings, impairment of the body immune system. If the ozone layer get depleted, eye cataract like disease also increases. Damage of the genetic material leading to mutation of the affected organism. It also damages the crops. Degradation of paints, rubber, wood and plastic used in building. These things happen if the ozone layer get depleted, because the UV rays will come on the earth and we have these serious effects. The amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply in the 1980s. This decrease has been linked to the synthetic chemical like chlorofluorocarbon. So this CFC, okay, HFCs, these are the gases, these are the pollutants which deplete the ozone layer. These are used as refrigerant and in the fire extinguisher. Okay, these are used as cooling agents in refrigerants and in the fire extinguisher. In 1987, the United Nations Environmental Programme UNEP succeeded in forging an agreement to freeze CFC production at the 1986 level. It is now mandatory for all the manufacturing companies to make CFC free refrigerator throughout the world. Okay, now it is banned. Okay, so all the companies, they have to make the refrigerator where no CFC will be used. Okay, next topic is managing the garbage we produce. How we can manage the garbage which we produce every day. You know that lot of garbage is generated daily, so it's very difficult to manage this garbage. So what are the different ways by which we can manage this garbage? First of all, we can put them into different dustbin. We should segregate the garbage, that is biodegradable substances and non-biodegradable waste. The biodegradable waste is that waste which can be decomposed with the help of bacteria and fungi. These decomposers, they turn the biodegradable waste into useful substances. Okay, and the non-biodegradable waste, it is not decomposed with the help of bacteria and fungi. Okay, so what we can do for that type of waste? We can recycle them. Okay, what we can do? We can recycle them. We can segregate the waste. We can put the waste into different dustbin. Okay, like the kitchen waste, fruit peel, vegetable peel, that we should put into the different dustbin. Okay, plastic we should put in the different dustbin, and paper we should put in the different dustbin, and cans also, that is a metal we should put into the different dustbin. So we should segregate the waste which can be recycled or which can be decomposed. First of all, we should segregate this type of waste. So recycle, we know that the plastic can be recycled. Okay, paper can be recycled, cans can be recycled. Okay, what is this recycling process? In this recycling process, what we can do, the waste which can be recycled, okay, that waste goes to the industry where the useful material is formed from the waste. Okay, like paper waste paper, or the plastic waste, that is again recycled and used to in the new form. Next thing, we can put the kitchen waste, that is a vegetable peel and fruit peel, into a container, and we can which is generated on a daily basis, we can put them into a container. Okay, and after some time it will turn into manure. Okay, it will take a lot of time to turn into manure or compost, so but it will turn after some time. Okay, so we can prepare compost from the kitchen waste. So it is shown in this diagram that a container is there in which compost is formed. Next process is, we can also do one thing, that is incineration. What is incineration? It is a burning process. This is very common nowadays, incineration process. So it is very popular in these days. In this, the waste, the biodegradable waste, okay, that is put into a container, okay, where it is burnt. When it is burnt completely, then the ash is formed. That ash is put into the field. Okay, so what they do, the waste, biodegradable waste, they put into a container and burn it. When it burns completely, then ash is formed. That ash they put into the field. Okay, so this is now in trend. Incineration process is now in trend. Next is biogas plant. Okay, this we can also do for the waste management. Okay, to manage the waste. So what we can do in this process? In this process, the waste material, that is the biodegradable waste, okay, like the dry leaves, okay, fruit and vegetable peels, okay, that we put into a chamber. This is the dome shaped chamber we put from here, and the solid waste from our washroom, Okay, from our toilet. Solid waste also from our toilet we can put into this chamber. Here in this chamber, this dome shaped chamber is there. Anaerobic bacteria is there. Okay, that anaerobic bacteria treat on this waste, that is the solid waste, and after some time the gas will generate. That gas is known as biogas. Okay, what is generated? Biogas is generated, and the material which is left behind after forming the gas, okay, all the things are decomposed by anaerobic bacteria. There should be no oxygen in this chamber. Okay, the anaerobic bacteria, they will break down the garbage and the gas is generated. That gas is known as biogas, and the material which is left, okay, that material is then used into the field. Okay, we can put that waste material which is left behind into the field. So this is also one of the method to manage the waste we generate. Okay. Now the next topic is disposable cups in tray. So in older time, the glasses is used to serve the tea in tray, but the disposable cups was hailed as a step forward for the reason of hygiene. No one at that time thought about the impact caused by disposal of million of these cups on the daily basis. Okay, firstly, for the hygiene, these cups are started some time back. Cooler, that is disposable cup made of clay, were suggested as an alternative. But if we use cooler on large scale, what it result? It will result in the loss of the fertile topsoil, because these cooler are made from the topsoil. Topsoil is very fertile where the plant grows. Okay, if we make cooler on the large scale, then there's a loss of the fertile topsoil. So we should not use these cups for tea. Now the disposable paper cups are being used as an alternative. So why the paper cups are used for serving tea in train? Because these cups are biodegradable, so they can be decomposed. So these cups are used in train. Thank you. Have a nice day.